Always a pleasure to see you, sir. For as long as I've been a member, I've never seen so few vampires attending the club nights.
Ja, dann geh mal vor dem Schrank weg.
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
Ah, er ist vom Schrank weggegangen. Yay. Ja. Wenn man nur wüsste, wo er ist. Ah.
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer. Please, tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
I did my best.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
As you wish, my lord.
Good. Now go.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Your word is my command.
Ja, okay.
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
I'd like your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Okay.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Nice. Da macht er einen auf die... Man kann doch nicht mal Vampire erschaffen.
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
Ja, Gott sei Dank nur ein Kadett.
I said stay away, sir! Kill it! Fuck his boss! Elite! Elite!
Yay.
There's one of them.
Hoppala.
I hear leeches.
Oh, die nehmen wir natürlich mit. Ich höre was knabbern. Knusper, Knusper, Knäuschen. Ein boshafter Skull. Oh, das sind zwei. Schön.
This is Braille. I need someone who can read this.
Haben wir zufälligerweise jemand Blinden kennengelernt? Nö. Okay, da geht mir schon mal nicht mehr auf den Piss. Hoppala.
A restaurant where the guests are blindfolded before being seated. Intriguing.
Okay, wo ist der Zugang zu diesem?
It's locked. I should find another way to get into the neighborhood.
Der wird sich doch hoffentlich finden. Ja. Oh, das sieht schon mal gut aus. Oh. Doch in die restliche Richtung rein. Keller.
I think this passage could lead me close to Aloysius Dawson's mansion.
Oh nö. Nö. Nope. Nope. Der letzte hat mir also richtig in den Arsch getreten.
There has been a fight here. I can see a blood trail. Left by one of the antagonists, perhaps? What a mess. Something terrible happened here. But what?
speichern. Oh, nice. Wo ist denn der?
This is despicable.
Der war knapp. Wie konnte ich das jetzt treffen hier? Ja, ich stehe wieder da, wo ich nicht hin wollte.
It's locked, all right.
Es ist merkwürdig, es ist einfach nur merkwürdig. Also muss ich an dem wahrscheinlich vorbei.
You're mine! I cannot win this!
Auf Halle.
Stupid! You're bleeding!
Du aber auch. Boah, der war jetzt aber richtig böse. Ja, ich glaube, ich hab's gefunden.
I can't believe I'm doing this. It's locked.
Warum auch einfach?
Foolish Eckhart.
Was bist denn du für einer?
Die, new
Wollen wir wetten, dass ich dich kriege?
Show me your...
What the fuck?
Kneel, traitor!
What the fuck? Er haut mir wieder die Plauze
Show
frei.
me your power, you... Kneel!
Ich hätte schwören können, dass ich den...
Your blood is now mine! Give me your blood!
Nein, gebe ich dir nicht. Nicht freiwillig jedenfalls. Jupp. Ach, da war ja ein neues Sammelobjekt, richtig. Nee. Der Band des Drachens, Bach von Briefen, Spezies von Vampyr. Oh, wenn ich jetzt halt noch wüsste, welcher es war. Egal. Moment. Ja, das war der Text in Blindenschrift. Okay. Hier gibt es nichts mehr. Vielleicht gibt es ja noch ein paar Ratten.
I cannot enter. It's locked.
Okay, dann gehen wir.
It's locked, all right.
What the fuck, ey. Warum lasst ihr nicht gleich 20 auf den, von denen auf uns losgehen? Nein! Ja, natürlich! Ernsthaft jetzt? Für das bisschen habe ich jetzt mein Leben riskiert? Wow.
Louise's father was determined to find and save her.
Ratte! Rattenburger!
This is despicable.
Irgendwie habe ich das Gefühl, dass ich daher komme. Hä? Muss ich jetzt halt nicht verstehen, oder?
It's locked.
Ach, da ist ja, das sind ja viele Rattenburger. Sehr viele Rattenburger. Sehr viele Rattenburger.
I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Aber du tust es.
This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this.
So, komme ich zu der Tussi irgendwie runter?
You're feeble!
Disgusting asshole! Vampire or not, I'll never be your wife! Let me go, you bastard!
Stupid newborn!
How long will you keep locked in?
What the fuck? Oh wait.
Disgusting asshole! Vampire or not, I'll never be your wife!
Miss Teasdale, are you all right?
How do you know my name? Who are you?
My name is Dr. Reed. I managed to track you down thanks to your father.
So my father really was looking after me. This man, this vampire told me my father was dead. Is it true?
I'm afraid so, miss. I'm so sorry for your loss. But you are free to go, as your abductor is no more.
I suppose my jailer also killed my father, didn't he?
Thankfully, he did not search your father's corpse, where I found his notes describing where he might find you. You should read them.
I must find my father's body. He deserves a proper burial. My father always said, even those few who offer help always want something in return. And he was right.
Komisch, dass der Vampir nicht hier hochgekommen ist.
Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing here at this late hour?
I'm conducting an investigation about the epidemic in this part of town.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. May I ask who you are and why all the questions?
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard. And I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke doctor doing in the West End at this time of night?
Do you need medical attention, Inspector?
I'm afraid I may have caught something. I don't feel too well.
You'll quickly feel better after taking this.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I really appreciate it.
Do you know anything in particular about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential man who could commit murder and get away with it, with just one phone call.
What are you investigating, exactly?
Mr. Kimura has been murdered. Always the same injuries. Wounds to the neck and massive blood loss. I'll stick to my homicidal maniac theory.
Na denn.
What are you really doing here?
I told you. I'm a detective inspector from Scotland Yard, investigating suspicious cases in the area.
What about the situation in the East End? Why are there no police there to protect the civilians?
I know, it's a shame, but we just don't have enough men to cover the entire city.
Do you work alone?
Yes, the situation is difficult for the police. Many of us are sick, and since the summer strike, most men apply a work to rule on their patrols.
Why are you investigating at night?
Criminals rarely act in daylight, you know. But since you are also a night worker, have you noticed anything strange, which requires police attention?
Wer war nochmal Geoffrey McCullum?
I'd like to report a name, Inspector. Geoffrey McCullum. I'm afraid he's some sort of vigilante, trying to recruit an army of angry citizens.
Then I'll write the name down and transmit this intelligence to the appropriate office. Thank you, sir.
What can you tell me about this district?
I'm the one asking questions, especially when there's a killer on the loose.
What killer?
I'm not going to discuss that with the civilians, sir.
Haven't I told you about the investigation I'm conducting? Perhaps I could help you.
All right, without giving you too much information, I'll tell you this. I'm convinced there is a homicidal maniac on the loose, using the epidemic to disguise his kills.
And what about the epidemic?
We both know the situation is critical, don't we, Doctor? Colleagues of mine die almost every day.
Tell me all you know about that homicidal maniac you're looking for.
I'm not even sure there is only one. The wounds are always the same, but the modus operandi varies. Sometimes violent and brutal, sometimes precise and swift.
How could different killers inflict the same wounds?
That's my main problem. If my theory is correct, maybe we're facing a group of individuals sharing the same violent tendencies. Perhaps a sadist cult.
Goodbye, Detective Inspector Albright.
Goodbye, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
So, dann können wir hier in Zukunft mal rein. Und ich muss jetzt halt ins Anwesen rein. Wo ist denn das jetzt halt eigentlich? Mal nicht direkt vor meiner Nase und ich sehe es nicht. Nein. Das ist die Kirche. Was haben wir denn hier? Was ist das?
It's locked.
Süß, ein Hindu.
Cards never lie, but they are never easy. Jonathan Reed. At last we meet. The cards warned me you would visit tonight.
I beg your pardon, sir. Do I know you?
Of course you do. Our mutual friend, Dr. Swansea, can't speak highly enough of you. My name is Usher. Usher Talltree.
You are the leader of the Brotherhood, are you not?
Primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, to be precise. I'm really glad we met tonight. I love it when the cards tell me a truth.
The cards told you to expect me.
Yes, they tell me everything. They've told me of your unquenchable thirst for blood. Be wary, Ekon. I've heard such a rich diet can be bad for the heart.
Do you require medical attention?
If you don't mind.
You'll feel better after taking this.
Thank you very much. I feel better already.
Is there anything you could tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several occasions. With time, he got deeper and deeper into the occult.
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades. The Golden Dawn, for instance, is just one example.
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 1900. Then his thirst for dark knowledge grew. I'm talking forbidden texts, readings which blackened his heart.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood?
I really don't know. I don't often go outside. And when I do, it's usually to quite distant destinations.
So you see nothing in the stars for me? You're a poor fortune teller, then?
Oh, I can tell you many things, but they will only concern you, not the city. For example, I know that you offered your sister the final rest she asked for.
Do the cards speak of my Mary?
No. It's the burning aura of guilt that precedes you everywhere you go.
Read my fortune, then.
You have been chosen, Jonathan. I see on you the mark of a strong being, so powerful it needn't even reveal its strength.
Tell me about yourself. What do you do here, besides turning cards in the middle of the night?
I'm for most a charlatan. For a few, I'm a vampire. And for you, I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole.
Some believe you to be a vampire. Who?
The guard of Priwen, who else? For a time, they sent spies to observe my activities, and they even broke into my home to gather proof.
Did they steal anything from you?
A personal notebook they quickly took to their headquarters. All they had to do is to look at me. I'm aging. What better and definite proof that I'm not an immortal?
Do you want your notebook back?
If you ever find it, I'd be glad to have it back, of course. I do ask one thing, though. Do not read it, Jonathan. Some secrets are not meant to be revealed, even to immortals.
For how long have you been a primate?
It was 15 years last year.
What do you make of Dr. Swansea?
Edgar is a brilliant and dedicated man. A man of his time. Sometimes a little muddled, but always looking for new paths and new concepts.
Can you read the cards for me?
Are you sure you want to know what they will reveal?
Yes, I am.
It will cost you 150 shillings.
Here is the money.
The snake. A bitter woman, smiling as she pours poison in your cup. A shaming betrayal. Hate.
Can you read the...
Put the money on...
Perhaps... How do you measure the amount of blood on my hands?
I told you. The cards always tell the truth. Well, most of the time.
Is it possible to tell me my future?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate to read, Doctor. But I can try.
All right. Let me hear it.
You'll cast your heart into the fire without hesitation, Jonathan. For pain is only for the mortals.
How did you learn about Mary? And spare me the hocus-pocus parlor tricks. The truth, now!
Swansea told me. Don't look at me like that. His task is to observe and gather information about vampires. He had to tell me about Mary.
Mary did not deserve her fate. She had already suffered enough during her life. And yet the pain and the suffering went on after her death.
Suffering is part of the immortal condition. Some prefer to lose their minds rather than face the simple truth. The pain will never stop.
How do you...
I told you.
Is it... Goodbye, sir.
I rarely want the Fool and the Empress. Again. What are the cards trying to tell us?
Wir rennen von Haus zu Haus zu Haus zu Haus.
I cannot enter.
Das ist ein Unterschlupf. Ich kann aber auch jetzt die Wohnung von diesem Mr. Dawson sein. Sieht zumindest mal aus. Okay. Immer noch keinen weißen Phosphor gefunden. Wir sparen die Punkte. Oh, nice.
There's safer places to be than here.
Get that ready! We found one! I shall fear
Sieht mal pompös aus. Das könnte das Anwesen sein, das ich suche.
Dawson's mansion. Here I am at last. But the question remains, am I ready to make a dying man my progeny? It's locked, all right.
Finally, you're here, Dr. Reed. What took you so long?
I had to pass several of your barricades and outposts to access your mansion, sir.
Death, pestilence surround us, and time is against me.
I see you've gathered some of the most expensive, albeit experimental, blood transfusion equipment available. All this could be so useful in a hospital.
Yes, Since Lord Redgrave sent me a doctor to perform my conversion, I thought you might find some of these devices useful.
Most thoughtful. But tonight I'm not here as a physician.
But I feel reassured that a specialist such as yourself would help me to escape the Reaper.
Very well. But before I proceed, I have a few questions for you.
If you must, but be quick, for I don't have much time left in this life.
First of all, I need to be sure that you know exactly what is going to happen to you, sir.
I can assure you I'm as informed as any man can be. I have planned for this moment, Dr. Reed. Planned very carefully.
Believe me, there is a huge difference between reading about vampires and waking up as one. I learned that myself the hard way.
Oh my God, man, stop your whining. I don't have time for your pointless jibber-jabber.
Oh, Mann.
You'll need to feed on warm blood. Blood from mortals. How do you feel about that?
I'm rich, Dr. Reed, and powerful. I'm sure I'll be able to acquire all the blood I need without ever having to sully my own hands.
I will become your maker. Do you understand what that means?
Well, I certainly won't consider you my liege, or some such drivel. You can be assured of that.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
What I do know is that I'll crush anyone or anything that would dare to oppose me.
Let's move on then.
Please, I'm cold and tired. I feel my life waning with every moment.
But first, before you embrace immortality, what would you do with such a gift?
That's a rather impertinent question, Dr. Reed, and I will do as I please.
Answer me all the same. What will your first action be as an immortal?
To save London, I will finance the most efficient quarantine ever seen. I will build a wall that will separate the sick boroughs from the healthy ones.
Who gave you the right to decide the fate of thousands of people?
My money. My money and my pending immortality gives me the needed authority, Doctor. I'm a businessman. I'm used to tough decisions.
You really plan to build a quarantine wall across London?
Yes, it will be tall and strong, separating the wheat from the chaff.
By doing so, you will also create two separate prisons.
Come, sir. An eminent doctor like yourself knows that such radical measures have proved efficient in the past.
I've heard enough. It's time to proceed.
At last. All right, do what you have to do. If it hurts, so be it. I've been preparing such a long time for this.
Are you ready for immortality, Mr. Dawson? Drink now, and say farewell to life as you prepare to be reborn.
What do you mean, drink? What about the blood transfusion?
I'm the doctor and the vampire here, so I'll give the orders. Drink, sir. Now.
All right.
Good. That's enough. That's enough, I said.
I will not die. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh no. You will die, sir. Steel yourself. You're already in death's grip. It's locked, all right.
Is it done, Dr. Reed? Is Aloysius Dawson reborn, as expected?
Yes, my lord. Ascalon has a new recruit, as you ordered.
Wonderful news. I've waited for this outcome for so long. Tonight you served your country, the king himself, beyond all expectation.
Thank you, my lord.
No, thank you, Dr. Reed. Now, could you do me one last favor?
Of course. What is it?
Go outside and talk with that disgusting creature I saw waiting for you in front of this mansion.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'll have a look.
Good. I didn't kill her on the spot, for she claims to be a friend of yours. But don't you dare bring such a creature near me again.
We meet again at the strangest of times, young Ekon. So do you serve the Earl of Bristol now?
Old Bridget. What are you doing here?
Your friend, the wise Ekon. She sent me to warn you.
Lady Ashbury? You know her? Tell me what's going on.
The lady approached me but a few nights ago, wanting to meet the sewer skulls. Once she questioned Harriet Jones. She agreed to help us.
Harriet Jones is still with you then? How is she doing?
Harriet remains angry, but is recovering slowly. Her mind is twisted, but at least her body is healing.
Tell me what is going on.
The lady asked us to keep an eye on your mortal doctor friend while you were away. We spotted the hunters. They were discussing plans to attack tonight.
No time to lose then. I must go there right away.
I shall return to my den. Have you a message for the lady? Should I see her before you?
Yes. Tell her I love her.
Is this still unknown to her? Go now and take care, young Ekon, for the flames are rising.
Are you from Ascalon? I don't care!
Wichser! Oh, du kleine Pissfläche.
This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Ah, da ist noch. Na, ich bin voll.
No!
Ein Schlag ab. Wollte ich nur mal anmerken.
What is this truck? Are the vampire hunters here already? Those bastards. What have they done to Edgar? McCullum and his thugs are taking the credit for Edgar's abduction. They really mean business.